Welcome back. Chances are pretty good most of you watching frequently find yourself on a crowded Harris County toll road, surrounded by thousands of other drivers, all shelling out over and over again for the privilege of traveling that publicly owned pavement. And if you're like me, you just can't help but wonder, how much are they hauling in and where does all that money go? Well, thanks to our friend Bill King, we have a better idea. Turns out over the last decade, Harris County has reaped a $3.5 billion profit, of which almost 2/3 has been transferred to county government and the commissioners who run it. Panel, Mr. King asks a pretty compelling question. Given that continuing largesse, why are Judge Lena Hidalgo and Commissioners Briones, Garcia, and Ellis hitting property owners with an 8% tax hike? Bill, tell us what you found out.
So I went and pulled the audits for the Toll Road Authority for the last about 15 years, and the toll road makes a lot of money. It makes about $300,000 or $400,000 a year, and
no, 300,000 or 400,000?
400 million. Sorry,
Okay,
300 million a year. And because the costs are fairly fixed and the revenue keeps going up, it makes more and more money every year. And so under state law, they can take that profit and they can transfer it to the county to pay for transportation projects. And so they've been transferring that. Since the Democrats took over, they're transferring a lot more of it to the county. And the problem is we really don't know how it's spent. Most of the money is allocated to the 4 commissioner precincts. Precinct 1, Rodney Ellis gets the lion's share of it, and the other 3 get a little bit less. And once it goes over there, we really have no idea how the money is spent. The county auditor did an audit in 2022 and said that it appears that it generally complies with the law. I'm always concerned about those kind of qualifiers. And I emailed them and asked them, can you give us a specific breakdown of the projects? And they said they'd get back to me. So we'll see.
All right. Stu, you've been around Harris County government a long time. Thoughts?
Highway robbery, for sure. But, you know, look, roads, as we're finding in the city of Houston, and we know, I mean, roads that are used require maintenance. And so my understanding was they had taken a lot of this that was set aside for maintenance, and they're not using our maintenance. So down the road, what's going to happen? We're not going to have the money we need to maintain the roads. And then they're going to say they're going to have to jack up the toll roads. And this is really more like a suburban, I mean, I live in the inner city, so I don't use the toll road, so it's not. But I do live in Precinct 1 that gets the bulk of it, and I'd be hard-pressed to tell you where there's a Harris County road project anywhere in Precinct 1 that I know of.
All right, Maples, remember when we passed the lottery here in Texas and that money was going to fund education? People said, well, why are they raising my taxes? Because we got the lottery. Well, this is another deal. I think they said at one point there was a myth that we were someday going to pay off the toll road, and it would not be a toll road anymore. Thoughts here?
So that was my thought. I guess it was just an old wives' tale that I always believed that once the toll road was paid off, then the tolls would be eliminated. Well, apparently that's not true, and the money's being siphoned over to the county, and God knows where it's going, as Bill King has pointed out. But in his article, he stated that over the past decade, there has been a $310 billion profit.
not 310 billion, 310.
3.5 billion.
Over the decade.
3.5 billion over the past decade. Do you know what that county could do with that money if they were good stewards of taxpayer money? They could fix all the roads in Houston.
All right, Marcus, thoughts here?
My thoughts go back to, I don't know, somewhere around 1776 when we didn't like the tax on tea and decided to revolt. And here we are driving in a car that we get taxed on annually, on a road that we get taxed on annually, where elected officials get to spend it however and wherever on whatever, and we're just playing our jazz music as we drive down these roads, getting taxed out of the wazoo. I don't know what this nation has come to.
8% more they're going to impose without a vote of the the taxpayers, correct, Charles?
Yes, and I hope this is in the property tax segment because I don't have my whiteboard with me, but yes, they are. And no, I think Bill makes a really good point that's worth highlighting again, though, is that this money gets transferred over to the county. We don't know what happens with it. And how do you hold people accountable? How do you audit anything where you don't know where it goes? And that's so much of the problem with all of our local governments. You don't know where money's going. And they always say money's fungible when it's projects they don't want, but it's not fungible when it comes to offsetting a tax increase. They can never seem to do that.
Point well made.